Real quick, if you're the type of person that struggles with starting or you're waiting for the perfect time to start, I made this video specifically for you. This video has the potential to change your life as it did mine in a very short amount of time. The thought of not starting has been weighing on my conscience lately. Like, where would I be if I didn't start 2 years ago? What would I be doing? I finally figured out how much it actually costs just to wait. And no, it's not in any kind of money way or any tangible way. 6 years ago, when I was a barback in downtown Orlando and I was lugging 500 pounds of trash, like 20 blocks through downtown at 5 a.m., that I would be sitting in my studio, making an impact to people online and inspiring people to do better in their lives, I would have thought you were lying. At that point in my life, I was living paycheck to paycheck, not understanding what it was I wanted to do with my life. I just knew that I was kind of in survival mode. Opportunity cost of not starting doesn't all weigh down on you at once. It's something that I'm realizing that's actually like a buildup. Now that I'm 28, I can think back 10 years to where I was 18 and thinking about what I could have been doing and how that would have made my life easier now. I'm not saying I have any regrets or anything, but knowing that maybe even 2 years ago, if I didn't start, what my life would have been like if I didn't have that ambition at that very moment. Some people find this out when they're 30. Some people take until they're about 50 years old to figure out they should have been doing it earlier. It's actually in just like missed moments of growth, sharpening your skill set, growing relationships, all those things, because you didn't want to start that new business, you didn't want to pick up your phone or start that new project. Not fair to start playing Monday morning quarterback with yourself and start hating on the things that you did in the past. If you can focus on what you're doing right now and you know if you can focus on what you're doing now and realizing that all things are going to bring you in the direction that you want to be, it's so much better to live that way so you have no regrets of what you should have been doing. It's so much easier and guilt-free to live that way so that you don't have to think about what you could have been doing in the time that you spent actually working on yourself. It's sort of that feeling of watching someone do something that you always said you would. It's realizing a year went by and nothing has changed. It's looking into the mirror and noticing that the same version of you is staring back at you, but it's 12 months later. But deep inside, you knew you had the potential, but all of the momentum just eroded away. And I'm not just talking more successful. I'm talking more expressed. I'm talking more fulfilled. More of you. There's this weird thing when you have all these great ideas, but you never act on them. They sort of just sit in the back of your mind and just act as a subtle reminder that you're just a little bit heavier that day, right? You just, dang, like I couldn't get to what I wanted to. Like I had this really awesome idea, but I kind of forgot half of it. I didn't write it down. That's when it starts to start eating away at you. And I know not everybody is like this. It takes a special type of person to actually realize that these things are happening because not everybody is so introspective. But for some reason, I've started noticing that about myself, and it's true. You know what you want to do. You've probably known for a while. Like, it's something that's kind of built inside of you. It's something that never fully leaves you. Something that you go to bed thinking about, something that you wake up hoping to have time for. Life starts to fill up your time with other things. Makes you feel productive. Makes you feel like you're doing something. All those things have this sense of urgency that your future self needs. And all the way through all those things, and all the way through that, you're still waiting to begin. I don't mean to sound harsh, but there is no perfect time to start. There is no extended inspiration burst that's gonna carry you all the way until next year and carry out your daily endeavors. This has to start within. It's something that is a mindset shift. It's something that I like to tell my students, like, this isn't just posting content. This is building a personal brand around yourself, around the discipline that you're trying to grow with yourself, around the type of person that you intend to be. Readiness never really shows up on its own. And clarity doesn't just show up on your doorstep every now and then. You have to earn it through daily efforts of chipping away at the things that you said you would do. It's by starting. It's by starting messy. It's by starting without any idea of what you're gonna say next. Like right now, I'm just trying to be off the cuff. Even though it seems edited, I'm just being off the cuff. And I'm trying to show you that I'm as passionate about this as you should be about your own thing. It's by taking that first step without knowing what your 10th one is gonna look like. This starts with building belief with your actions and not just by thinking, because that'll leave you into this analysis paralysis that'll be a constant vicious cycle until the end of time. So I went to Barnes & Noble's, grabbed a Marcus Aurelius book and started reading. The other day I went to Barnes & Noble's and I wanted to get a book on philosophy, and so I got a Marcus Aurelius book that one line in particular just stuck out to me like crazy. So it says that at one point, the soul grows ashamed of only dreaming. And honestly, that gave me chills. Like, at some point, you need to stop sleeping, stop living in the clouds, actually do something of sustenance for yourself, and start growing something that's meaningful for you, something that's going to make you feel passionate and purposeful. There is a huge cost to waiting, but we just don't get to see the receipt until way later. That's what I've kind of picked up on. It's not just later. It's later when you start to see someone doing the thing that you said you would. It's later when you realize months have passed and nothing's moved. I hope this video is actually starting a small fire underneath you, because that might be the push you need. Once I realized that nobody was coming to save me and nobody was going to really hold my hand every single day to get me to do something, was when I actually started to make those conscious efforts daily. This time last year, I made a painting called Hard Conversations, and it was like a pivotal moment for me. It wasn't the best painting I ever did, like academically, but for some reason, it was like some of those really hard conversations that I needed to have with myself in order to keep me going. Like, you will need to sit down with yourself and have a really stern, a very stern but purposeful conversation with yourself about what you want to see from yourself, and talk to yourself as if you are its boss, because you are. So we all know the mind and body kind of works together, but sometimes they can definitely start fighting, and that can lead to a lot of confusion. Like, you're so tired physically, but you want to keep going all night mentally, right? I deal with that so often. And sometimes I'm not tired either way, and I just stay up till 5 a.m. working on something, and I know I shouldn't do that because I would need a sleep schedule, right? Having those hard conversations with yourself is going to be something that's going to change your mind forever. I know this video is kind of rough, and if this speaks to you, it might feel like I'm calling you out, but just know that you're not stuck completely. You can begin this week. You can begin today. You can change the direction of your story by just starting with one small step in the right direction that can carry you forever. Start small, start badly, start so messy that you like get embarrassed when you look back on it in the future. But the one thing I want you to do is just start, because that is the most important part of this whole thing. And I get almost irate thinking about it. It gets me a little irate when I see the missed potential, but it takes a certain type of person to even do this at all. So if you are that intense about what you want to do with your life, then obviously this video is for you. But if it isn't, then don't stress yourself out about it. It's not really for everybody, you know? Like, entrepreneurship, being a creator, building something on top of having a job isn't for everybody. I understand that. Momentum is what builds confidence. And when you're confident, you're able to build something that can provide that value and that purpose in your life. 3 years ago, I wrote this down on a piece of paper and had it pinned to my wall for the longest time. I don't know where it went, but basically it said imperfect action with like a greater than sign, and then perfect inaction. So you don't want to have perfect, you don't want to get it perfect at first, because you won't take action on it. But if you can start chipping away at something, even if it's imperfect, that's how you're going to work on the iteration process. The whole point is to iterate and get better. You're not going to know it all at first. Like, there's a misconception on the fact that things need to be perfect right from the jump. And if you've been circling the idea to start that business, to start sharing your content, to start posting what you really truly love to do online, then you can work with me directly in that link in the description. Hope this really resonated with you, and I hope you actually listen to some of the words that I was saying, because they might not have all been formed together properly, but the intensity that I feel about it and the passion that drives me to even get on video to say this says a lot. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. See you.